Let's turn attention now to health. Throughout January, the International Agency for Research on Cancer is marking the Cervical Cancer Awareness Month by highlighting the latest estimates of the burden of cervical cancer and explaining how the agency supports the World Health Organization global strategy to accelerate the elimination of cervical cancer as a public health problem. In 2020, an estimated 604,000 women were diagnosed with cervical cancer worldwide, and about 342,000 women died from the disease. Persistent infection with a high-risk human papillomavirus is the main cause of cervical cancer. Cervical cancer is one of the most preventable and treatable forms of cancer because vaccines exist that protect against high-risk HPV types, and screening programs can detect signs of disease at an early age, allowing for effective treatment and management of the condition. And joining me live from Lagos via Skype is a public health physician and founder Smile With Me Foundation, Dr. Chioma Uwankama. Good to have you join us, Dr. Uwankama. Cervical cancer, as we understand, is the fourth most common or most deadly or the deadliest of all cancers, especially with women. Talk to us about where we are now in eradicating or minimizing the effect of cervical cancer.
So currently, you're actually right. So cervical cancer is actually the second commonest cancer affecting women in Africa and also Nigeria. That includes Nigeria. And of course, you're right with these statistics. So where we are right now, it will interest you to know that just towards the end of last year, 2020, Nigeria adopted the global strategy for elimination of cervical cancer in Nigeria. We adopted that, and that's simply a kind of threefold strategy, talking about early screening for women, vaccination for young girls, and of course, early detection and treatment for the early stages of cervical cancer. So that's where we are as a country right now as regards cervical cancer.
So one of the biggest challenge is that people, again, do not come out early or do not detect this cancer early. And that's because there is some sort of thing with us here in Africa where if it's not a serious condition, until we start to see that it's a serious condition, we do not go for testing. Talk to us, especially as women, what can we do to detect this cancer early, and how, for those who have it, what can they do about treatment?
Okay, thank you very much. So as you rightly pointed out, we in Nigeria, we have a poor hospital habit. Let me use that. So we have a poor health-seeking behavior, and we like to go, as you said, when things are very obvious or when things are falling apart. However, that's not the way to go. And so my encouragement to watching, especially the women, as it's a cancer that particularly affects the women, I'd encourage everyone to firstly, if you have a young girl around you, you have a young girl from age 9 and above, encourage you to seek out HPV vaccines. I know that part of the global strategy by the Nigerian government was to include HPV vaccination as part of our Nigerian National Routine Immunization Program. While that is still happening, there are still some agencies, NGOs, even some hospitals, clinics that have this vaccine available. So I would ask you to seek out such centers and get your young girls vaccinated. Even the boys can be vaccinated because the human papillomavirus, which is the causative virus, the main risk factor for cervical cancer, is a sexually transmitted infection, which means it affects the men and the women. So with vaccination, the boys are protected, they can't infect the girls and come down with cervical cancer. So vaccination is one thing. Secondly, screening, regular screening every 3 to 5 years is advised. And then if we find any early signs of cervical cancer, please do well not to delay your treatment.
Absolutely.
Treatment can be done immediately.
Absolutely. Public health physician and founder Smile With Me Foundation, Dr. Chioma Uwankama, thanks for talking to us.